York City walls are sometimes overlooked by visitors to the city, but they have an interesting history, along with splendid views. The original walls were built around 71 AD, when the Romans erected a fort. The foundations and the line of about half of these Roman walls form part of the existing walls. The Danes occupied the city in 867 AD. By this time, the Roman defences were in poor repair, and the Danes demolished all the towers, save the Multangular Tower, and restored the walls. The majority of the remaining walls, which encircle the whole of the medieval city, date from the 13th to 14th century. From the east corner of the Roman walls, the medieval wall extends to Layerford Bridge. After the bridge, the King's Fishpool, a swamp created by the Normans damming the River Foss, provided adequate security for the city, and no walls were ever built in this area. In the Middle Ages, the defence of the city was further helped, not just by the walls, but on the rampart underneath and the ditch surrounding them. The ditch along the walls was once 18 metres wide and 3 metres deep. In modern times, the ditch was almost filled in and no longer exists. For this reason, the ground directly around the walls is higher in most places than it would have been in medieval times. The walls were repaired during the English Civil War by parliamentarians, as well as during the later Jacobite risings, due to fears of an invasion from Scotland. The walls were restored in the Victorian period after falling into disrepair. The Victorians widened the wall, as well as extending it in some areas. Previously, in some areas, there probably would have only been narrow ledges that could be used to support a timber wall in times of danger. They also rebuilt the battlements and sometimes the tops of the walls. Some slit windows are at the wrong height, and some are narrow for the full width of the parapet. Some parts of the wall still have small holes called musket loops from the 17th century for muskets to fire from, although they are of uncertain age due to restoration. In the northern area, where you have views of the cathedral, the walls were defended from interval towers, which would have been higher than they are now after the Victorian restoration. Some of the merlons spaced along the walls were added by the Victorians. The walls are worth a walk around when visiting the city, as they offer a true sense of how large the city was in its past, as well as offering stunning views of famous landmarks. Another bonus to walking the walls is that you can get around the city quicker, as you avoid the busy roads where you often get stopped at crossings.